Hi, and welcome to this week's practice, yoga for mental health and relaxation. My name's Andy, and I'm working from Unique Fitness. It's my pleasure to do this video as part of the Disability History Month, along with the University of Bradford. So, before we start, for today's practice, we're going to use the chair again, but this time I'm just going to slip my shoes off because a couple of the postures are just going to involve me potentially bringing my leg up and wrapping my foot around my thigh, and it's going to be more comfortable without those. I don't need any water. I feel that this practice is going to be gentle enough and relaxed enough for me not to need any. If you do have some close at hand, then I've got my work uniform on, which is quite comfortable, a hat on because it's a little bit chilly now, and I'm good to go. Just bear in mind too what you can do with the yoga. We really focus on your posture, and we focus on going as far as you comfortably can go in the postures. So if anything feels that it's not right for today, then please just come out of that posture and do what you can and rest when you need to. Okay, so let's get started. So before I take a seat, let's go through that finding the centre. So if you haven't done one of the videos before, I'm just going to show you that from a side on. So the way we find the centre part of our body is if I tip my tailbone all the way backwards and create that sort of unnatural arch of the spine, that's the full range that I can go in that direction. Now if I tip my tailbone under, so I'm drawing my belly button towards spine and tipping my tailbone under, that's the end of that range. So my centre is in the middle between those two ranges. So for me, it's there. And I'm going to adopt that while I'm sitting down. And I could have done it while I'm sitting down. I just wanted to describe and explain to you while I was standing up so you get the idea. So once I've sat down, I'm just going to go through that process again, just taking the tailbone away from me and then tucking the tailbone under and then finding my centre. Now my posture still needs a little bit of work, so I'm going to do my zip up or my imaginary zip up. So I'm just going to up my zip, and as I'm up my zip, think about lengthening my spine. And when I get to the top, I'm just going to allow my shoulders to relax and my arms wherever's comfortable. Okay, I can already feel myself being a little bit relaxed. So now I'm just going to start to focus on our breath. So we take about 20 to 30,000 breaths a day, but how many do we actually recall taking? So we're just going to focus on our in-breath and focus on our out-breath. So there's no need for us to be synchronized. You may have rushed to come and do this practice and you might be breathing quite heavily. If that's the case, just start to slow down the breath. Create some distance between the in-breath and the out-breath. And because I feel quite relaxed, I'm just going to close my eyes. It's your choice if you do that or not. And while I'm just focusing on my breathing, I'm just going to have a little scan through my body. Does anything feel stiff? Is there any tension anywhere? Just to make me more aware. I'm just going to set the intention for myself. I don't have to do this, but I'm just allowing myself this moment to allow myself to relax. I'm thankful that I've got the opportunity to take this practice on board. I'm just going to gently open my arms. I'm just going to start just bringing my arms alongside my body with the palms facing in and just do some arm rotation. So I'm just going to rotate my arms round so the palms now face away from me and my shoulder blades draw together. I want to just start with expanding my chest by rotating my arms, and then rotate back in. Keep the shoulders relaxed, and again, to just rotate the arms round. Feel the drawing in of the shoulder blades, expanding of the chest, and return. And if you want to, you can just tie that into your breathing in and your breathing out. Breathing in and you're breathing out. Breathing in breathing out. So the same with the breath, we're just going to bring the arms up, just under the shoulders and expand out. Breathe out. Breathe in, return. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's try and keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. So we've got a couple of options, the arm rotations, just a slight raise of the arms, or if we wanted to, we could raise all the way up. Just bring the palms facing each other. Breathe out, return. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Lovely. On this next one at the top, we're just going to forward fold, but only slightly, keeping the back straight. Lovely. Back up and return. Lovely. So do your best to control each movement to the breath. Try and keep the back nice and flat. I'll just show you a side view. So back nice and flat, keep it nice and lengthened and long. So we should be feeling a little bit of warmth up in the shoulders. Remember, if we wanted to keep the arms underneath the shoulders, we could. It's your choice. Do you want just the arms to rotate? Lovely. Last couple here. Just come back into the centre. Lovely. Before we move on, let's just shoulder roll. Relax the shoulder. Zip up. So let's go into our next posture. So, keeping conscious of our centre and our zip, we can bring one knee up towards us, doesn't matter which side, and we can hold onto the knee and just raise that up as high as comfortable. While we're here, just try and relax the shoulders and just focus again on your breath. And if we slowly release, and we can swap sides. So we'll just start with a few breaths, and you can see how comfortable you are in that position. It's quite natural for one side to be a little bit more flexible or easy to maneuver. Lovely. So if we repeat that, and I'll just show you from the side. So I've just reset my centre, reset my zip. I just want to be conscious of that as I bring the knee up. If I go up too high, I might find that I lose control of my centre or the zip on my posture. Release and change sides. Lovely. So release. So come back into the centre. So we'll start in that same position. So whichever knee you would feel comfortable bringing up. And then from there, we're just going to extend the leg out. And you might want to just support underneath it. Again, it doesn't matter how high that leg goes. And then if we point the toes to the ceiling, so we really start to engage that thigh muscle. Now, if you've got greater flexibility and you'd rather take the leg a little bit higher, you can. This is about my range, okay? Everyone's different. And to release, just bend the knee, lower the leg, and let's change sides. So let's raise. Remember our centre and our zip. Extend. And then change the hands to underneath. So this one I can tell is a little bit stiffer than the last, so I just have to be aware of that. Sometimes when things get hard, our breath rate increases and we forget to focus on our breath. So just be aware of that. Just think about your in-breath and your out-breath. Lovely, slowly release. So a bit of warmth in the shoulders, a bit of warmth in the legs. So now we're going to cross one leg over the other. So this is one of the postures which is a little bit wiser to take the shoes off. Then for the first one, all we're going to do is just tip from the hips. So try and keep that centre, and that's it. Just tip forward from the hips. Try and keep the back nice and flat. For the first time, your arms aside, or even if you want to rest them onto the leg, you can. Try and keep the gap. So you've got this little triangle in the middle. And then just tip as far forward as you can, maintaining that gap, keeping the back nice and flat. So we should be now feeling a beautiful stretch along through the hip and through the glute. Now you can slowly rise up. If you want to, you can push onto the leg to help you rise up, and then switch sides. So take your time. One might be a little bit more flexible than the other, or a little bit more tighter than the other. Just take your time, just recenter, re-zip, and when you're ready, tip from the hips, keep the back nice and flat. Whatever position is comfortable. Just try and create some distance between the in-breath and the out-breath. Try and breathe deep and full. With every out-breath we should be feeling just little elements of tension releasing. And then again, if you want to, you can push the hands through the legs to rise back up. So let's just do that one more time. We'll just incorporate some arm movement as well first of all. So if we take a breath in as we raise our arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing towards each other. And as we breathe out, just forward fold. Try and keep the back nice and flat. Once we're feeling some tension through the bent leg, then just bring the arms down and relax on the leg. Just using those arms as levers might have meant that we've come down a little bit further and just intensified the stretch going through the hip and the glute. And then hands on the legs, and just gently push. We'll just do the other side. So when you're ready, breathe in, extend the arms. So try and relax the shoulders. Breathe out, tip from the hip. When you feel that resistance, then you can just rest the arms down and then keep the back flat and just focus on your breathing. So while you're there, I'll just show you what it should look like in case you're able to observe yourself. So just keep the back nice and flat. And then push the hands into the legs, slowly rise and back to the centre. So we've done some work for the legs and for the shoulders. They should feel nice and warm. So we're just going to do a wrap up for the shoulders and a nice little stretch for those. So I'll just show you on a side angle. So I'm just going to take one arm into the elbow pocket of the other and then wrap around. While I'm doing this, I just want to take my shoulder blades back and relax my shoulders. I want to be feeling the beautiful stretch along my shoulders. This is a good range for me. Some of you might find you might be able to get this elbow further over. Are we still zipped up? Do we still have our centre? And for the final couple of breaths, can we just bring the elbows up towards the top of the shoulders while keeping the shoulders relaxed? And slowly release. And just bear in mind which one you have on top, because you're now just going to take a shoulder roll and then change sides. So you want to feel a beautiful stretch around the back of the shoulders. Your centre, zip up, relax the shoulders, focus on your breath. If this is too strong for you, you can just take like one arm across instead of wrapping up. And the last couple of breaths, just lift the elbows up alongside the shoulders and allow the shoulders to relax. And relax. I always find that one quite challenging, especially if you've been working from home or working at work and using a computer, gadgets, gamers. It's a lovely, beautiful stretch that you need to do as often as you can. So let's finish with some neck stretching. So let's just bear in mind our posture, find our centre, zip up. And we're just going to take one ear to the shoulder. So I'm just going to lengthen here. So this is the neck that I'm lengthening. And the first time, as I'm doing my breath, with every out breath, I'm just going to imagine my head just getting a little bit heavier. Slowly come up to the centre. And so while we're doing that one, just try and keep the shoulders nice and relaxed and the posture tall. So keep that zip up on. And we're just going to do the other side. Try and keep the arms nice and relaxed, either alongside you or the hands are okay on the thighs. to the centre. Shoulder roll forward and back, and we're just going to go around one more time. So let's go back to the first side. So whatever the range is currently, then just take your fingertips, just pop on the top of the head, and on your next out breath, just gently lengthen that stretch by just gently applying some pressure onto the head. Slowly back up. You can give your head a little hand to get back up, and then change sides after a shoulder roll forward and back. To the last side. Whatever the comfortable range is to start with, I'll just show you from a side on so you realise that the back still stays nice and tall. And then just gently on the out breath, slowly release. You can use your hand, just take your head back to centre, and we can just find a comfortable position for the hands. I'm just going to shoulder roll forward and back. Then when you're ready, find your centre, zip up, allow the shoulders to relax. If you're comfortable, just close the eyes, and we're just going to focus on the breath for the last few moments. While we're focused on the breath, we can have a scan. A scan of the body. Has anything changed? Is there less tension? Is there more warmth? Are we more relaxed? We just take the hands, if you've got your eyes closed, and just cover the eyes with your hands. I'm just going to just gradually let some light back in. So you can keep your eyes covered, but just open your eyes. Just allow the light to slowly come back in. And then when you're ready, which you can stay there for as long as you like, come back in. Oh. Lovely. Well, thanks for joining. Hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit less stressed than when we started. Well done. Thank you for joining.